Alright, so it's Sunday morning when you just got to get to the river and the ground crew is not available. Sometimes you just have to do what you got to do. So I'm taking Fitzgerald for a little walk and a ride over here to the river and go on a little paddle down to MKA-Matt. Should be a pleasant day for you. See you on the river. Alright, so had to wait till I got past all the traffic noise so I could talk. But I walked down to Noreen Access, got in the river, obviously. About to the middle of those barges, a recreational motorboat came upriver with probably too many people in it, and man, did it put off a wake. I got waves over the bow, and then the rebounding waves coming off the barges was just awesome. Anyway, so I'm on my river. Been a while since I've been on the river. I just had to come today. I was supposed to do a camping trip this weekend, and I should have been on my way to Herman by now. But with the weather yesterday, yeah, it wasn't a good day to be on the river. So I chose not to be on the river, and my ground crew kind of insisted me not be on the river, and of course who's going to argue with that with the weather that we had yesterday. So anyway, we're on the way down river, and we'll see what kind of excitement we run into, if any. It's always good to run into a barge or two, or well, not run into, but pass a barge or two on the way. But maybe I will, maybe I won't. Don't know till we get there. So anyway, let's get turned down the river. Got a lot of wind today. It's going to make for some choppy water, which should add into some quite enjoyable kayaking. It's always good to have a few waves mixed up. And if we ever reach that point, I'll let you know. Alright. I'll catch up with you later. So we might have a couple of buoys. I'm going to say a little bit out of place here. I don't think this green can should be right there. And I don't think this red nun ought to be right there. I mean, it just kind of looks a little out of place to me. What a day. Wind comes and goes. When the wind picks up, I'm at about 6.5 miles an hour. And then of course when it dies down and calm like it is right now for a minute, and I'm doing my normal 7. Got the music going. Of course not while I'm videoing, because copyrights and everything, YouTube won't allow it. So anyway, it is a nice day, nice warm day with the breeze blowing. Keeps you cool. Not having any trouble with the heat. Doing a relaxing day. Training all at the same time. Got the race to the dome coming up in, yeah, it's about 4 weeks, I guess it is. So trying to get ready for that one. That's always a fun little race. A lot of newbies get on that race, and I just want to do this just, you know, because it sounds like fun. And then next thing you know, they've got maybe a better boat, maybe not. And they show up doing the MR340. But the Race of Dome is a fun little race because a lot of people come out with their recreational kayaks. Not a thing wrong with it. That's how I got my start. And I just slowly upgraded as finances allowed. And when I was in my little boat, my Walmart boat, I got all kinds of encouragement from people with big fast boats, long fast boats. Nobody ever discouraged me or said anything about my little Walmart boat. That's the thing about the people that race in the 340 and then do these fun little races, practice or training or whatever their motivation is for that. And the thing I remember is I was once what is kind of referred to as a Walmart kayaker, because that's where my kayak came from. Well, my paddles that's where I got my paddles from. Everything came from Walmart. Nothing wrong with it. You gotta start somewhere. As long as you're on the water, learning and having fun and relaxing and enjoying nature, I don't care if your boat came from a cereal box. You're out there on the water, having fun, you want to learn, get into a new thing maybe or whatever. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Because most people at one time or another, when they started, most, not all, probably got their first kayak from Walmart. So, doesn't matter what you have when you do the race to the dome or any of these other races. You're out there trying, doing it, and having a good time. And that's all the rest of us probably care about is, hey, we got a new person trying our sport. We're going to encourage him, help him out any way we can, so they enjoy it as much as we do. Anyway, that's enough. Sandbar right over here. I think I'm going to catch it and kick back and take a little walk, stretch out a minute. Not that I need to, but you know what? It's always nice to get on the sandbar and walk around, see what's there. There's nothing on that sandbar but sand. No. I want to get out and take a look at it. Yeah, I think I will. Alright, here we go. Okay, so beach on the sandbar. This is just downriver from the Osage confluence to the Missouri. Nice little sandbar. Good spot for camping right here on this point. It's high up off the river, so if the river comes up a little overnight, you should be okay unless it really comes up. But then the downside is these puddles Downside of that is you're probably looking at lots of mosquitoes. A couple other little sites you could put your tent up on. That's your high up off the water. Depends how big your tent is, of course. If it fits on these little knolls. I always like getting the highest possible ground when I'm on a river like this, but yet you're right here by your kayak, so you can just unload it right there. Well, you don't want to drag your kayak out of the water a little, right there, and always tie it off regardless if it's out of the water or not. And then you got just a short little distance. You walk from the kayak to here. You move your kayak down a little bit to that little spot down there. The other downside is there's no firewood here, so you could not have a fire, campfire. And it's always nice to have a campfire, but it's not needed. But it is nice and luxurious and a relaxing thing once you head down the river on a camping trip. However, right over this wing dike, there is another sandbar. Looks like I got easy access, just like this one does. And there's firewood over there. So, you didn't see that one coming down the river because the wing dike hit it. But if you find this one, of course, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get out your kayak and you're going to look around and make sure it's a suitable campsite for you. Alright, this one is. Except for the puddles that will probably hold some mosquitoes. But then you're like, wait a minute, and you look over here and you're like, I can get access to that sandbar, and it's got firewood, so let's jump back in the boat and go down there. You know, options. It's all about options. So we're gonna climb back in the boat and go on down river. So that guy in the boat right there, he was going really slow, and I had to maneuver the river right a little bit to miss that little wing dike sticking out in the middle of the river. And I guess I scared him a little bit. But anyway, he was going super slow anyway. I mean, he was just almost matched my speed. I had to slow down to talk to him because he wanted to talk about something. But anyway, he says, hey, what time was that back there? And I'm like, I would guess Bonnet's Mill, because Bonnet's Mill is just upriver from on the Osage River, and Confluence is right there. So, guess I was right, I don't know. Anyhow, you know, I was thinking a while ago though, my first race was Race to the Dome. Back, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I don't know. Anyway, so I'd already known about the MR340. I'm like, I'm gonna do it one of these days. But anyhow, and I seen a flyer for the Race to the Dome, and I'm like, oh, that would be interesting. So I drove up to Hartsburg. Get this, with my 8-foot lifetime kayak bought from Walmart. And I did Race to the Dome, what, the 16-mile course in an 8-foot kayak. Yeah. Nobody said anything about it except, okay, you plan on getting a bigger kayak? And I'm like, probably one of these days. And every one of them, every paddler I talked to, some of these paddlers were competitive paddlers. And they all told me, you can race in this boat and it'll get you downriver, and to get you on the river and get you out in the nature and get you to doing things. But if you race, you're going to want to eventually get a bigger boat. And every one of them gave me advice when, you know, it was the right time for me to get a bigger boat or whatever. Nobody ever put me down. That's why Race to the Dome is so much fun. A lot of racing paddlers, that's how they get their start, because it doesn't matter what they come there with. They're going to get positive support and what do you say, positive advice, like, you know, what kayaks they should be looking at when it comes time for them to, you know, step up. Maybe that'll never come for that paddler, and nobody cares. They still give them the advice. If they use it, great. If not, and they just keep coming in that one, that's great too. Nobody cares what you have. Don't gotta impress anybody with the equipment you got. You know, I just want to see people getting out on the river and enjoy this fabulous resource that we have. I'm constantly trying to get more people on the river. Maybe not the Missouri, because it is intimidating for a lot of people. But the few people that I have brought out here, I get them situated in the kayak, and I push them off. And before they get very far downriver, like, you know, within a couple 100 feet or less, I'm in my kayak right next to them. And they all ask me, okay, so you're going to tell us when it gets, you know, when the river gets bad and everything, right? And I'm like, well, we just did the hard part, the baddest part, the worst part there is. And they're all like, well, how's that? Getting in your kayak and pushing off. And every one of them says, so this is all there is to the river? And I'm like, yep, this is all there is to it. Of course, you do have some things to worry about. Whirlpools, water boils, or what I call water boils, and barges and buoys and wing dikes. But as far as dangers, or a dangerous river, it's not really, as long as you're looking out for those things. And me and a friend of mine, Clint, is trying to get some people on the Gasconade River, September 7th. I have a nice little 8-mile float lined out on September 7th. I'm not sure what time we're going to push off or nothing. You know, I got him and his wife and his daughter. I think 3 people from his kayaking group. And then I have 2 females coming, two ladies coming, I think, that have little to none experience in a kayak. So I'm going to put them in my other 2 kayaks, let them get a taste of what the river's like. And I think both of them are going to be hooked. So, anyway, if you're not doing nothing September 7th, get with me. We'll take along on the Gasconade little 8-mile float, talking maybe like 4-hour float, maybe 5. We'll stop for a picnic lunch or whatever on the gravel bar, sandbar, whatever there is. On the Gasconade, it's usually a gravel bar. But anyway, we'll stop and have a picnic lunch or whatever. So 4 or 5 hour float. I'm not sure how shuttles are going to work. Probably have to shuttle yourself. I have a couple of spots in my vehicle to shuttle, but I think all those spots are taken. So we'll have to find out how many people are going and then work out some kind of shuttle arrangements. I guess my truck could do multiple trips maybe, which just adds to time. So anyway, I got a few little things to work out. All depends on how many people I got going. But the Gasconade River is a really good river. Usually it was a very good, very popular float river. And then I believe it was the flood of 2013. It flooded like 20 feet over flood stage or something ridiculous amount. And it kind of changed the river. It slowed down the river, the current rise, or the current on that river. But it seems like to me the current is picking back up on that river a little bit. But it might have just been the water level I was at that one day. I don't know. Anyway, but I still think regardless that it's a great float river. You gotta do some paddling on that river, but nice calm. A lot of times the water is fairly clear. You can see down about 3 feet in most cases, unless it's after rain or something. Then it gets a little murky. But anyway, it is a nice river. Probably, besides Missouri River, is probably my next favorite river. Still got to finish that river. I started it this year. Got taken off the river by my ground crew because of weather. So I was a couple of days shy of paddling the entire river. I will do it again. I was hoping to do it next year in 2025. I don't think that's going to happen. I might have to wait till 2026 to do it. Next June, whole year away, I'm actually going to Ohio and do, let's see if I can pronounce this right, oh, and I can't even think of the name of the river. Anyway, a river in Ohio. I'm doing a 5-day float on it with my paddle partner Chris. Saito River? Not pronouncing that right? Anyway, more on that next year when I do it. It's a fun little river. Haven't really looked up any details on it, but it's got a lot of Indian heritage to it, I do believe. So that'll be interesting. Anyhow, I'm just on the river, enjoying my day. Nice, peaceful. Good music on the radio. Well, YouTube for my playlist. And we're just cruising along. I've got in 9.2 miles out of 20. Got to be in McKean at 4 o'clock. It's now 2 o'clock. I better slow down. I'm gonna get there way early. So need to text my ground crew. I got signal, I hope. Let him know I will be on time at 4 o'clock at McKean. I wanted to go all the way to Portland, but got a late start, and could have made that, but then I'd be paddling really hard. And I just wanted a leisure day of paddling, so I'm just taking a leisurely day here, doing 6.5, 5 miles an hour, or 6.5 to 7 miles an hour. I'll get right one of these days. Just cruising, relaxing, enjoying the sights, and just having a good time. Weather was supposed to be this way yesterday, so I was going to do a camping trip, and I was going to go down the same stretch of river down here to Tate Island, which is a conservation area. Conservation acquired it, Missouri Conservation acquired it in 1994. I don't remember quite how they acquired it. Donated, bought it, combination, both, whatever. But as I was getting ready to push off from Noreen Access, thunderstorm rolled in. It's supposed to be a little thunderstorm, which is going to pass by quickly, so I thought, okay, I'll just wait it out. And ground crew called me and says, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to wait the storm out. I'm going downriver. They're like, you're not going to want to do that. It's going to be storming for the next 2 hours. So I might as well just come get you. He had already dropped me off at Noreen, because he had things he had to do. But he had time to drop me off, but that was it. I wanted to get my duck lines on my bow fixed before I headed out. So he dropped me off at Noreen Access. I was doing that, watching the weather. Okay, it's going to storm, no big deal. It's not supposed to be a very big storm. It's going to pass quickly. And we got the duck lines all done. And that's when ground crew called me and said, Dad? I'm like, oh boy. Yeah, so that did happen. So I wanted to get in the river. He didn't have time to put me in the river this morning, so I walked to the river. He will pick me up at 4 o'clock at MKA-Matt. He had time for that because it was already scheduled. So anyway, pleasant down the river, and I'll check in when I get down to MKA-Matt. Oops, I goofed. I got my rivers mixed up. I am on the Missouri, but when that guy in the motorboat asked me what river that was in the town and everything, I said the Osage Confluence. That's wrong. That's the Morrill River Confluence. So the sandbar that I was walking on is just down the Missouri River from the Morrill. I mean, just right past the Morrill River Confluence. I am now coming up on the Osage Confluence. So I hope I didn't get that guy lost. I think he was already lost anyway, though. Anyway, so now we're getting to the Osage Confluence. I should be about 8 miles from Portland. 7 miles, 8 miles, something like that. Supposed to be there at 4 o'clock. It's now 2:35. So I think I might be a little early, but it's okay. I got provisions. I can just hang out there. Or I can just slow my pace down, which I'll probably just slow my pace down. Not that I was working hard anyway to maintain a speed or nothing, but anyway, I had to correct myself. That was the Morrill River, and the sandbars are just downriver from the Morrill River. If you're looking for landmarks so you can find them later, whatever, that's where they are. On the Osage River, you come down, go river right, and go up the Osage River about 2 miles. You'll come to Bonnet's Mill Access, I think it is. Bonnet's Mill something or another. And they have a campground there. And And the Osage, this far downriver, doesn't really have much current, so you could paddle up that 2 miles without any problems. Looks like a nice sandbar right here at the Osage confluence too. You might want to check on that. See bright orange something down there. Not sure what it is. But yeah, it looks like a nice sandbar. I see some firewood there. Somebody might be camping there even. I don't know, we'll have to see when we get there. So the Osage River is right over there. Now there you're looking at the Osage River. That's the Osage Missouri River confluence. A buoy right here. Alright, let's go see. There's definitely something going on down here. So, let's go check it out. Okay, I'll check in with you later. The skier on the river. That is so cool. Skiing on the Missouri River. Love it. I don't know how big a wakes he's going to give us, but we're going to see. Very good wave, but maybe. And we got the other boat here. Can't cut in front of that one. Wow, it's a really fun day on the river. We're about 5 miles from O'Kane. A gentle wake. So stopped at the sandbar right there across from the Osage River confluence. Nice little party going on. Friendly party. Nothing wild. Nobody getting crazy or nothing. Stopped and visited and chit-chatted with those folks. One of them tried to give me a puppy dog, which I would have gladly taken, but I just ain't got room for a puppy dog on this kayak. But it was a lovely, lovable dog. I'm not sure what breed, small breed. Anyway, so I killed some time there. That'd be a nice sandbar to go camping on. Had a little bit of firewood. Nice, really big sandbar. So, anyway, on with our journey. Hey, we're coming into McCain. I just had a boat pass me. Downriver there. Give me some nice rough water. Mixed with this wing dike that's just underwater. Kind of cool. So, boat ramp is got a boat getting taken out right there right now. And it is 3:58. I wanted to be there at 4. So 5 minutes away. Something like that, probably. Nice look at the power plant down there. Oh yeah, we'll be at the boat ramp just a few minutes. I don't know if ground crew is there for me or not yet. We'll have to wait and see when we get there. Ground crew is there. This is always kind of tricky to come into. Boat ramp's a lot like Jeff City as far as being tricky. It's got a wing dike on it on the upriver side, which helps, but sometimes hinders. a little bit far out. I'm going to swing back in. Here we're going to pull the rudder. And we are at MKA.